Welcome. This is Cheating Tale Stories. Tell me where you're watching from. Have you ever trusted someone so deeply that you ignored the warning signs? How did it turn out for you? Call me Ethan. Call me naive. Call me whatever you want. But listen to this story before you decide. I met Alina on one of those rare, perfect afternoons where the air feels like it was made just for you. I was at a small art gallery in the city. Something I almost never did when she walked in. Her presence was magnetic. Not because she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen, but because she carried herself like she belonged wherever she stood. We struck up a conversation over a painting. She had this way of listening, like every word you said had weight. I asked for her number before we parted, and she smiled, wrote it down on the back of a gallery pamphlet, and told me, "Don't wait too long to call." I didn't. The first 6 months were a dream. We spent weekends exploring farmers markets, late nights watching foreign films she introduced me to, and hours talking about our future, marriage, kids, traveling together. She had a way of making the future feel like it was already written for us. But there were little things. Moments when she'd be distant, her phone lighting up and her thumb moving too fast to read. Sometimes she'd disappear into the bathroom for 20 minutes to take a call. I told myself not to be paranoid. After all, she'd told me she loved me only 2 months in. A year later, I proposed. She cried when she said yes. We moved into a 2-bedroom apartment downtown. Life was busy but good. I worked in finance, she worked in marketing. Our schedules didn't always align, but we made time. Then, 3 months into our engagement, she got sick. Morning nausea, fatigue. I thought maybe it was stress. She was in the middle of a big project at work. But one Saturday morning, I found her sitting on the bathroom floor with a pregnancy test in her hand. Positive. She looked up at me, tears in her eyes, and said, "We're going to be parents." The thing is, I should have been happy. I should have pulled her into my arms. And I did. But somewhere deep inside, there was a knot in my stomach. Because we hadn't been intimate. During the window of time this would have happened. Not once. I told myself I was being ridiculous. That maybe I'd miscalculated. That love was about trust. She insisted we go together for her first prenatal checkup. She wanted our baby to feel real for both of us. The day of the appointment, I was holding her hand in the hospital when the doctor walked in with a smile. "Congratulations. You're about 8 weeks along." 8 weeks. I froze. 8 weeks ago, I had been on a business trip. I'd been out of the state for nearly 10 days. And before that trip, well, things between us hadn't exactly been romantic. I tried to keep my face neutral, but my mind was racing. The math didn't add up. We left the hospital, and in the parking lot, I finally asked, "Alina, are you sure this is my child?" She looked at me, her eyes narrowing. "Why would you even ask that? Are you accusing me of something?" I told her the timeline didn't make sense. She got defensive, angry. Said stress can affect cycles. That doctors sometimes miscalculate. She stormed off to the car. I followed, my head spinning. For the next 2 weeks, she was colder. She worked late, or so she said. She started sleeping in the guest room, claiming it was more comfortable for her back. One night, I walked into the kitchen and found her on the phone. She didn't hear me at first. She was whispering, saying things like, "I can't tell him yet. I need to figure this out." When she saw me, she hung up instantly, said it was her friend from work. That's when I did something I never thought I would. I checked our phone bill. There it was, hours of late-night calls to one number I didn't recognize. I called it from my own phone. A man answered. He sounded confused. But when I asked if he knew Alina, his tone changed instantly. He said, "You're the fiancé, aren't you?" Before I could respond, he hung up. I confronted her that night. She denied everything at first, said I was paranoid, controlling. But when I told her I'd spoken to him, something in her face changed. She sat down, put her hands over her stomach, and whispered, "I didn't plan for this to happen." That was it. No apology, no confession, just damage control. She admitted they'd been seeing each other on and off for months, even before our engagement. The pregnancy wasn't planned, and she hoped it was mine. But she knew there was a chance it wasn't. I left that night, packed a bag, and went to my brother's place. She called me dozens of times over the next week, saying she wanted to fix things, that she still loved me, that we could raise the baby together. But every time I thought about going back, I remembered that moment in the hospital, her hand in mine, the doctor's words, and the quiet realization that the future we'd dreamed of had never really been ours. It took months to untangle our lives, the apartment lease, the wedding plans, the friends we'd shared. She eventually stopped calling. I heard through a mutual friend that she had the baby. I never asked who the father was. Some truths don't need confirming. If you're listening to this and you're ignoring the warning signs, stop. Love doesn't erase the truth, and the truth always finds its way out. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.